What's going on, you guys? Cartel from Hell coming at you with another review. I'm so excited to finally get this one up on the turntable. There's a lot going on with this piece, so we're gonna have to really dive in deep on this one. Without further ado, XM Studios Doctor Strange. Abracadabra, motherfucker. So first of all, the dimensions on this statue, it's gonna be 18.5 inches tall. And then at its deepest point, it's gonna be 13.5 inches deep. And the weight on it, basically, it's heavy as fuck. What I love most about this statue is the pose. His cloak of levitation is actually holding him up in this lotus pose 100%. No part of his lower body is actually touching the base at all. XM Studios has definitely pulled off this effect flawlessly. It's extremely impressive, you guys. I have to say, I really love it. I actually really love his face sculpt. His skin tone and hair have been painted to perfection. Everything's painted really nicely inside the lines, you guys. His eyes have that nice glossy effect in them to give him that very lifelike appearance. But one thing that they should have done is they should have continued that glossy effect within his mouth as well. It is missing it, so that's one more thing that they should have done. A couple of people have actually picked up a custom head for this statue before it was actually released. And I really feel like it's one of those cases where, you know, the pictures just did not do it justice, because honestly, you guys, the portrait is extremely good on this piece and I'm really impressed with it. His cloak of levitation is actually, you know, a version that you see later on throughout the comics. His earlier cloak of levitation, it didn't have this gold trim right here around his collar. The gold trim was only incorporated, you know, right here on the edges of his cloak of levitation. So this is pretty much a later adaptation of his costume. In 90% of the Doctor Strange comics, he usually just has, you know, the gold trim on the edges, and that's it. One thing that I have to say about the gold trim though, you guys, I actually think that they've done a really good job painting it and giving it that gold color. And I really love all that texture that they have added in on the trim. One thing I'm not too happy about though, you guys, on this cloak of levitation is that on the back side, they have included this golden eye of Agamotto. And for me, I would have rather had them depict him with that iconic thick rectangular texturing right here on the back instead of this golden eye of Agamotto. I'm not really feeling that look. It doesn't look bad. It's not applied bad in any ways. It's just, I want that very iconic Doctor Strange look that I'm used to. I want that thick texture right here and, you know, going along his shoulders as well. So that is one thing that this statue is missing that I don't really feel they did too good of a job at. I do have to say though, you guys, the cape in general is just very beautiful. I love the way it's flowing and it's really impressive. I'm digging it, you guys. I really love it. They've even shaded it really nicely within the creases and the folds. So it's not just, you know, just a really big red cape. They've actually given it, you know, different layers when it comes to the look of the actual cape itself. It's beautiful, man. It's very impressive. They've even included a second face sculpt, and it's going to be this incognito blue disguise that he shifts to when he doesn't want to be noticed. I actually really love this face sculpt as well. And when you go ahead and throw this face sculpt on, you guys, it gives you such a different look and appearance to the statue. It really changes it up, almost like you got two different statues. His eye of Agamotto amulet is peering open, ready to blind you with its all-revealing light. And it's actually really hard to see, but there's a lot of symbols that are all around the amulet right here that are encasing the eye of Agamotto. And one thing you're going to be getting a lot with this statue, you guys, is references to the eye of Agamotto. You know, all together throughout the whole statue, there's actually 10 different depictions of the eye of Agamotto. So they're just everywhere, Easter egged all over the place. In his left hand, he is holding the all-seeing orb of Agamotto, which is usually in his chamber of shadows deep within his sanctum sanctorum. For those of you who don't know, the orb's power actually stems from necromancy, magic through the dead, and Doctor Strange has actually been trapped within the orb and had to escape before. One thing that I really love about his orb of Agamotto is XM has completely littered it with hundreds of these multicolored metallic flakes which shine different colors depending on the angle you are looking at it. It gives you the impression that he is searching the cosmos looking for someone or something. I'm extremely happy that they included it in the statue, and I'm really impressed with the way it turned out. Another option that they give you for display, instead of the hand with the orb of Agamotto, is this arm with his iconic hand gestures summoning up mystical incantations. They have given him these really nice looking gauntlets with ancient symbols and large gemstones encrusted into them. They look really nice, but I would rather have him without the gauntlets and just have him in the very iconic looking sleeves and gold or tan colored Ditko dotted gloves that he has seen in 90% of the comics, just to give him that really iconic Doctor Strange look that I'm used to seeing. I love that they stuck with the more iconic looking blue, light blue, and dark blue costume instead of the newer black and red costume. His tunic has this raised design with the same looking texture that is incorporated throughout the rest of the statue. I love this effect, and it just ties everything together so well. He also has a golden sash that is wrapped around him and tied off on his left hand side and flowing outward. It adds a lot of motion to the statue, giving you the effect that he is creating a whirlwind, summoning up a lot of mystical shit. Now the base, you guys, it's extremely impressive to me, and I absolutely love it. It has a lot of patina added to it to give it that very ancient appearance. They've also done the same thing with his demon pedestal to tie it in very well. The bottom of the base has these ancient symbols completely wrapped around the perimeter of the base. And XM Studios has actually included a light up feature within the eye of Agamotto in the base. The eye itself is made completely out of translucent resin, which allows it to let the light shine through. The light actually has 3 different colors: red, green, and orange. And the way that they transition throughout the colors, it almost makes the light and the eye look like it's alive. It's an extremely impressive effect, and it's gonna look really good in like a really dark display or a dimly lit room. XM Studios has engineered the light in a way that protects you in the future by including another T-light fixture to replace this one when it burns out. It's little touches like that that make me confident in purchasing your statues and gives me an extra level of security, which is few and far between in this hobby. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into another one of my favorite parts of this statue. Is gonna be this demon pedestal with the book of the Vishanti laying on top. I love the way the demon pedestal was sculpted. The hands are all reaching upwards and look like they're coming from the depths of hell. It really reminds me of something from within the Sanctum Sanctorum, and I love that his book of the Vishanti is incorporated with it. This is, in my opinion, one of the coolest and most appropriate add-ons in my collection, and they have actually done a really great job making the book look realistic with all of the pages individually sculpted. The decals on the pages look flawless and give the pages an extremely aged and oxidized look to them. The outer cover of the book is very nicely detailed with depictions of 2 5-pointed stars and an angel and demon facing off for the balance between light and dark. But I do wish that there was some kind of added magnets to secure it stronger, because the book is just resting on the hands, keeping it in place. I would hate to accidentally bump it and have it come crashing down and break on me. Another thing that I think would look really nice with this statue is like a very old, ornate hourglass with the sand inside of it. Since he's always traveling through time and dimension, I just feel like that would be a very appropriate little add-on for this statue, and it would look really nice displayed with this piece as well. I mean, yeah, there's already this add-on, but that together, man, that would just set it off for me. You know, with Doctor Strange, you can go on and on and on with all the different artifacts that he has deep within his Sanctum Sanctorum. You can just do a lot of different things, you guys, and don't be afraid to try it out. This statue in its entirety is extremely heavy and really screams quality, you guys. All of the magnets are really strong, and everything lines up really well inside the joints. The paint apps within this statue are applied silky smooth with nice clean lines. I can go on and on and on talking about this piece for days, you guys. There is just so much going on with it. All in all, you guys, I'm extremely happy with this statue, and I proudly give it the Cartel from Hell seal of approval all day, every day, even with the slight nitpicks that I do have with it, just because it is very top-notch quality. And most of the nitpicks that I have with it are all just personal preferences. Don't think I forgot about the coins though, XM. All right, bring that shit back. I gotta hit him with subliminal messages. If you guys enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other unboxings, reviews, 4K close-ups, and statue collection room tours. Thanks again for watching, and catch me if you can on the next one.